you see the evolution in the last maybe say 33 decades or so, the generation of engines. And if we stay with the CFM family engine, obviously on the 737s, the CFM-3 was a huge step from the previous, the Pratt & Whitney JT8 engines. Fuel efficiency, thrusts, time on wing, and so on and so forth. And then almost 20 years went by before you got the next generation CFM 5s and 7 was a significant step in the evolution of that engine. And that's now 20-ish years old already. So you see kind of in these incremental steps. So now you have the LEAP engines, the LEAP 1A, LEAP 1B, replacing some of the eventually the CFM 5s and 7s from the Airbus 320 family, the 737 family. So that's about it. The incremental improvements have happened over the years. In other words, the CFM 5.7s, from the time they entered service back in the late 90s to today, there's been many improvements over the year to improve time on wing, efficiencies, and so on and so forth. So there is incremental improvements with an engine program. But the leap, no pun intended, is really a leap forward. That gain they managed to accomplish, both GE and Pratt & Whitney on their single-aisle engines, is quite significant when you look at efficiencies, fuel burn, emissions, in improvements between 15 to 20%. So it comes often. There is some really cool stuff in the LEAP engines. There is using CMC, material, ceramic composite material, using a lot of manufacturing procedures, the 3D printed nozzles, fuel nozzles. They're using blisks, bladed discs in the compressor sections, again for manufacturing improvements, and also run these engines. They're running harder and harder. And so now you got to work on new exotic material, cooling of these HPT or the hot sections for to maintain those efficiencies. But it is pretty, the composite fan case, and it's a good example too. They got to fully containment case on the LEAP engine is a fully composite, different from the previous engines.